Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are taking a look at an actual real tourbillon watch, but actually it's an affordable tourbillon watch from a brand called Nornir, which is basically owned by Lenvino. And I reviewed a couple of their watches in the past. You can check back. Some of their racing-inspired watches were very cool. And as you can see here, this is a tourbillon with an Asian tourbillon automatic movement. This is their Cellestial series, which is currently on Kickstarter for 3 more days with prices starting at $595 US. And I think it's a pretty good deal considering the movement, considering the quality and the strap and all the packaging and stuff. Although I do not have the exact packaging, the packaging you can see on their Kickstarter campaign, which the link will be down in the description below. Now, what is Nornir? Now, Nornir in Norse mythology are 3 gods, beings who rule the destiny of human. The watches are designed in a space constellation thematic style to reflect this powerful brand name. And they say they strive to create luxury timepieces by combining historical craftsmanship and an inexhaustible creativity to all watch addicts. Basically, they're providing a very affordable tourbillon watch here with a nice design, some nice functions, including the day and night indicator, 24-hour dial. This is actually a co-axial automatic tourbillon, which is not really seen. A lot of people are doing the manual wound standard tourbillons, but this one is actually automatic and coaxial, so I think it's not a bad deal. Let's get into it. Now, on my wrist today is the Oceanica Reef, which was just released, as you can see here. I was swimming with this watch, but it's definitely a really nice watch. And for $250, I think it's a good deal. You can check them out. I reviewed this watch literally yesterday and showed everybody the unboxing of it, so you can check that out in my last video. Let's get on to the watch today. Now, some basic specifications on this exact model. We're looking at a solid 316L steel case in a rose gold finish. That is just on this model. As you can see here, it's fully high polished. There are obviously standard stainless steel models or silver models you can get. This is just the rose gold one in a nice high polish. We do have 20mm lugs here, and we do have a 42mm case diameter. In terms of lug-to-lug distance, we're looking at about 48mm, so it really doesn't wear that big. It's very circular. The lugs are quite short, and it wears nice and firm on the wrist, I should say. In terms of case thickness, we're looking at about 14.5mm. That is what I got for my calipers, although it states 14.8 on the campaign. And one reason it's a bit thinner, these movements are pretty thick, these Asian tourbillons. As you can see there, they actually combine like the crystal seamlessly on the back, so it kind of slims it down a little bit. I think that was nice that they did that. A lot of people don't do that. They just screw down a standard case back. You can see the rotor there on this automatic tourbillon coaxial movement, but I will get more into the case back towards the end of the video. Anyway, getting to the movement. Well, what is a tourbillon? If you don't know what a tourbillon is. Now, in horology, a tourbillon is basically a type of movement, and it basically continuously rotates the entire balance wheel or escapement assembly at a slow rate, typically about 1 revolution per minute, and this averages out positional errors. So your watch, it basically increases accuracy or gravity. And in terms of gravity, if your watch is planted this way for a long time or this way, it's going to keep the same exact time as in each position, because watches do keep different times in different positions. That's why when you see someone on a time grapher, they test it in all different positions or 5 positions. But with the tourbillon, as you can see right down here inside this cage, you won't have that issue. It'll be just as accurate in any position. And it also looks very nice. And a lot of the big Swiss brands with their high-end tourbillons, they really go all out and decorate the hell out of the movements and make it look really fancy, but it's basically doing the same thing as this, and this is only $595. Now, in terms of the actual caliber used in this model, the Nornir Celestial collection, it's powered by the HZ3C10 automatic coaxial multifunction tourbillon movement. It has a 24-hour indicator and a day and night indicator. It has a 40-hour power reserve. It does beat at 4 Hz or 28,800 beats per hour. It does contain 25 joules. It actually has some nice decorations on the actual rotor and the actual movement. I'll throw up a picture right now. And it relatively keeps good time. They're very accurate, these movements. They're not cheap either. A lot of people might think, oh, it's Asian, it might be cheap. They're really not cheap. If you try to buy these movements separately, they're at least going to be, $400 or $500. And then you have to buy the case and create a case, and it's not that cheap. So anyway, I think it's a pretty reliable and decent movement for something at this price point on Kickstarter. I think it looks nice. I like what they did with the case back, and let's take a look at that. So here we get a glimpse to the sapphire crystal on the exhibition case back. As you can see here, it's all seamless. So it's screwed down. We have 50 meters of water resistance. So you can wash your hands with it. You shouldn't have an issue. But you do see some nice striping on the rotor there and on the main plate as well. If I can spin that rotor around, you will see some more decoration. I think it looks pretty neat. Nothing is really out of place. It is printed on the crystal. Some basic specifications. I think that's pretty nice. 25 joules, 50 meters or 5 ATMs water resistant sapphire crystal. And I think it looks pretty good. I like what they did with the case back. I think that looks good. The case back itself on the rose gold version is actually in stainless steel, the screw down case back, while the case is completely plated with the rose gold color. Now taking a look at the strap, we have genuine leather Italian handcrafted straps with quick release bars here, which is pretty common nowadays. I don't really see the hype over this anymore. Basically every watch comes with quick release, as you can see, genuine leather, but the strap itself is very comfortable. I like how it feels. It's very soft. It's definitely comfortable for this size of a circular kind of thick watch here. I think it gets the job done. We have two safety keepers here, and we do have a matching rose gold buckle here. So not a bad strap, not a bad strap. Now the hands themselves are filled with superluminova, so you do get some lume on this watch. And let's get in a little closer on the actual dial. You can see that tourbillon spinning in the cage there. Looks really cool. Now over here at the 3 o'clock is the day and night indicator. I think that's very classy and nice. You do see some finishing on the movement through over here, or I believe that's part of the movement. This nice sort of perlage work over here, and then we have your 24-hour subdial over here, all outlined in a rose gold border. So a neat looking dial. This is Nornir applied over here at 12. If I can move the hands here, you do see the logo right here at the 12 o'clock position, which is applied. The hands are quite simple. I think they get the job done. Very easy to read. We have your 12, and then you have hour markers going around. Very simple, automatic, 25 joules on the front, tourbillon printed over here. So there's one position, as you can see here. You just pull out, and you can set the time. The 24-hour subdial will go with the hour you are at, as well as the AM or day and night indicator. So very simple to use, not very hard. Once you push it all the way in, you do have self-winding. So if you want to give the watch some power, no issue to do that. Now there she is, planted on my 6.5-inch wrist, 48 lug to lug. It sits pretty firm on the wrist. The lugs actually kind of glide in the air there. Once you push back though, they kind of sit in place. But it definitely looks really nice and classy and very expensive. I do like that. The strap is really comfortable and looks a lot more expensive as well. And overall, it fits my wrist just fine at these dimensions. My wrist is 6.5 inches. So there you have it, guys. The Nornir Cellestial new tourbillon. There are 3 days left on Kickstarter. They are 100% funded, so these are going to go in production. I think it's a pretty nice looking watch. I like what they did with the movement. I like that it's different. It's not a standard Asian tourbillon. It has a couple functions, and it's automatic as well. So it's definitely, pricing out the competition at a pretty decent point at about 600 US dollars. I think it's a pretty good deal. The components, the case, the finishing, everything is pretty solid on this watch. I like what they did with the case back. See the rotor there. Overall, it's a pretty well-made watch. Not many people can afford a really expensive tourbillon, starting at about 15,000 US dollars. From Swiss brands such as Tag Heuer, that would probably be your cheapest route. If you want something that does the same exact thing, essentially, you can just spend $600 on this. I don't see any quality control issues on my end on this sample model. So, I think, from my point of view, I think it's a decent buy. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below as usual. Definitely throw me a like if you enjoyed this video. I'll just get you in for a real close look at the tourbillon movement before we go here. How cool is that? Alright guys, let me know what you think. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think. You can find me at www.watchaddiction.com or at watchaddiction on Instagram. I will see you guys soon. Bye.